Kickstarter is a platform that's shown some amazing stuff being produced from it. Games like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night and Ukulele and Pillars of Eternity. Some of the titles produced from Kickstarter have been really amazing. It doesn't only host video games either, of course. You can find a lot of tabletop games being produced from Kickstarter. You can find artwork, comic books, music. There's always so much stuff going on. Of course, Kickstarter has had its fair share of failed titles too. Games like Mine Number 9 have been a complete flop and were a disaster. And then games like Heartforth Elysia are projects that have been slated for release for years on end, teased with dates, but never actually released. There are also a lot of other terrible failed projects and stuff like that, so it's not a perfect platform. It can be mixed. There's a lot of amazing success, there's a lot of huge failure, an inability to produce the work sometimes, and a lot of other stuff. So it's not perfect, but there also is some kind of cool stuff going on a lot of the time. As someone with an active Kickstarter, I'm always backing projects I find interesting, and I'm always looking for new games coming out or something cool to look into, and maybe possibly promote my money towards it. I decided for this video I would just show some of the games that I've Kickstarted in the past and recently, and just show some of them off, show what's coming up. So right now I have 3 games in the process of being backed, and they'll all finish by the middle of July. I'm just gonna go over the ones that I've already backed though. A couple of these might fail. Not all of the campaigns are always successful, of course. So I'm gonna go over some of the ones that have already been backed and are guaranteed to come out. Most of them are coming out next year. And we're just gonna go game by game. Now, these are intended to be pretty short. This isn't gonna be like a huge video or anything. I just wanted to show them off really quick and give you a little bit of an idea of what they are before moving on to the next game. So we're just gonna go really quick here. I'm going to start with the first one right here. So this game, Evan's Remains, it's a cool looking platformer that has like some mystery and adventure themes in it. The art looks really pretty and the trailer seems promising. And the estimated delivery date and release of the game is May of next year in 2020. It has some really cute pixel art, and it seems like a shorter game that'll be entertaining for a couple of days, which is fine. I backed it for $7, so the low entry price matches that level of delivery. What state review is mostly just a few gifs and some screenshots. All the pixel art shows off the game's visuals. I'm predicting this one to be at least decent. Then, next up, we have this Grimmer Space by Iron GM Games. It's a little bit different. It's not a video game, it's a tabletop RPG supplement. I happen to love pen and paper style games because I run my own 5e campaign. But this is a cool little addition. It's built from the ground up to be capable with stuff like Starfinder. It's kind of an addition to that system if you're familiar with Starfinder. It's essentially space or sci-fi horror, and it has everything built around that theme. Like things like Dead Space or Aliens, but in tabletop form. And that's what Grimmer Space is. It's set to release in July of next year in 2020. I'm hoping to learn Starfinder by that time next year and maybe be able to incorporate it into my own game if possible. The next game we're going to talk about is Kingdom of the Night. This is a cool ARPG that's influenced by stuff like Earthbound, 80s culture, and of course Diablo, the game that is essentially the grandfather to all modern ARPGs. It's isometric and features a big map system and an intricate quest system with tons of unique items, enemies, and equipment. The campaign for this game was also pretty successful and managed to launch with a ton of other things, like a boss rush mode, a ton of extra classes, and a co-op feature, all slated for the launch next year, October of 2020. I'm really excited for this one as well as the next one too. They even happen to share similar names. So this next game is probably my favorite game that I've backed so far. Hunt the Night is, according to its Kickstarter page, a 16-bit dark fantasy action-adventure game. The team describes the game on the page as having bits and pieces of stuff from Bloodborne and Dark Souls in it. The large, powerful, tense boss fights, and also possessing other bits and elements like visuals and exploration mechanics, more akin to stuff like Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Secret of Mana. The campaign was fairly successful and made its way about halfway through its extra funding goals, unlocking extra designers and artists to increase the content available in the game, as well as a new Game Plus option and dynamic quest lines for secondary characters, adding in a bit of choice and variety as to how playthroughs will end up going. The final game I'll cover today is Small Saga. This is a mouse-based RPG. Yes, you heard that right. The main characters all seem to be like mice, or rodents, or like other small animals, and they battle things as terrifying as full-grown house cats. in this turn-based adventure. Things like rabbits, rodents, snakes, and owls are also some of the other enemies you'll encounter in this game. The game features a host of hilarious and cute characters who possess different abilities. They all set out to help the main character achieve his vengeance and of course chase goals of their own. This game is slated for release in the summer of 2021, which is quite a while away, but I'm hoping by then that the developer, who is the sole creator of this game, manages to get it right. This could end up being a memorable indie classic. These aren't all the titles I backed on Kickstarter, but I figured I'd show off some of the best ones and just let you guys see some of the stuff I've managed to get a hold of. In the future, I'm going to try to cover some of the newest, best stuff that comes out on Kickstarter every week. You can look forward to the first video of that by next Monday at the latest. For now, that's it for me. I'm going to try really hard in the future to have more regular upload schedules, but better late than never, I think. This video would have been up last night, meaning the night of July 9th, but my power went out after it was storming all day, so I really didn't have a chance to record or upload, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm gone for now. Peace out.